We mark today the anniversary of the Nakba, a time when thousands of Palestinians were slaughtered, hundreds of thousands were displaced in the creation of the State of Israel as they were chased with violence from their land. And from then till now, the oppression of Palestinians has continued. Every decade that has passed, we have seen more and more oppression visited upon the people of Palestine. And yet it is remarkable that through all those decades of humiliation and of oppression, the spirit and the will of the Palestinian people is stronger today than it ever has been. And Mr. Netanyahu should know this as he continues to prosecute his war crimes in the Middle East. That he can kill innocent people. He can kill women and children and continue the slaughter that is going on in Gaza, but he will never kill an idea. And that idea is the idea of a free Palestine. Now, as the first speaker said, we demand an immediate and unconditional ceasefire. And I tell you that the number of people backing that position now in the Westminster Parliament is growing and has grown considerably. In fact, on Monday of this week, we had a debate in the House of Commons, and it was a debate specifically that there should be a Gaza visa, a Palestine visa introduced by the British government to allow people who need urgent medical care to come here on a fast track and get it. And it is notable that amongst 30 speakers from all parties in the House of Commons who took part in that debate, only one resisted that idea. And that one was Tom Perslove, the immigration minister, to his shame. Now, what is happening in Palestine and what Israel is doing, of course, needs to be called out. But what is even worse is the attitude and the lack of action that is coming from our own government. How many more weasel words do we have to hear from Rishi Sunak and David Cameron? How many more times will they try and apologise for the support and endorsement that they are giving to the State of Israel in the crimes that they are committing at this point in time? And I have to say also, although there are many good people in the Labour Party who are dismayed at their leadership stance in this, I can never forgive Keir Starmer when he suggested that it was an act of self-defence to cut off water supplies to a civilian population who were dying of thirst. That he will rue the day that he made that statement. And as the election comes later on this year, I don't tell you who to vote for, my friends, but I ask you, make sure that this issue is at the forefront of your consideration when you cast your vote and you ask your friends and neighbours to cast your vote. Make sure you remember when that election comes, if it's in 6 months' time, not who says what then to you, but who is saying what now and what they have been saying for the last 6 months, and hold them to account. Now, the first speaker said that we call for a ceasefire, but that is only the beginning, and he's absolutely correct. Because we need a ceasefire to stop the killing. But then we need to demand that the Palestinian people are given the political rights that every other people enjoy throughout the world, that negotiations commence under the auspices of the United Nations to create a viable, independent and free Palestinian state. That is what must now go to the top of the agenda, and that is what the British government should be arguing for, rather than the way in which they apologise for supporting Israel's armaments at the moment. And that is something that me and my party will continue to press for a free Palestine. Let me just say one thing in conclusion, my friends, because there are so many people that are trying to derail and undermine our movement. And they don't do it by suggesting that what's happening in Gaza is somehow right and should be supported. What they try and do is they try and delegitimize and criminalize the actions that we take in solidarity. They say that these marches are filled with hatred, that we are all anti-Semites, and that we should not be listened to. That is the word that is coming from the very top of the British state. Well, look around you. Look around you, and you won't see hatred here today. You will see love and compassion and a desire for basic human dignity and rights. That is what we stand for. And I will never, ever let anyone tell me that there is a contradiction between fighting anti-Semites and standing up for Palestinian human rights. They're two things, they are two sides of the same coin, and we should be doing both. My friends, this is a wonderful demonstration, and we have had the weather for it today. And I know many of you have been on these marches and demonstrations over the last 7 months. We will have to keep going, though. We will have to keep going throughout the rest of this year for as long as it takes. And I look forward not just to seeing you in the protests to come, but on those protests building to a successful conclusion. Because I tell you, throughout the world, the cause of Palestine and the extent of solidarity from human beings across this globe for Palestine is growing, has never been greater, and that can only mean one thing, that in the end, Palestine will win.